going on? It is it's the middle of the day, got out of school early, and there was a package waiting for me, and I could certainly wait until I get home to open it, ba-bam, but I don't have anything to help me tell the time until then, so let's open it. I don't normally do lengthy unboxings. I should probably speed this up just like the others. Look at her, she's so pretty. She's blue and titanium. Titanium. Oh, she's a thickin'. Baby got back. Happy Friday. It's very rare that I shoot on a Friday, even though I air the ride-alongs on Friday. And I don't know when this one's gonna air. I just had to make a video with this watch just coming in. I was excited to get it, and I didn't want to wait until I got home. I guess I could have shot it, ended up shooting it tomorrow, but here we are. Doxa. I love Doxa watches. I've had a smattering of them over the years, and they are the diver's dive watch, even more so than the subby, I'd guess, because these watches are pretty bold and kind of big too. I saw this one. This is the titanium, the new titanium limited edition. I don't remember how many. I think there's only like 300 of these? Or is it 200? I don't know, I'd have to look it up. Limited. And I'd been bemoaning the sale of my other Doxa titanium, the Mission 31. I made a killing on that sale though, a killing. But it was too big for me. And it still is. It's not like my pizza and pasta regimen is caught up with the wrist, so even if I got that Mission 31 back, it's still not going to fit very well, and as much as I aspire to go diving in the Caribbean, it's not likely to happen anytime soon. And my main Doxa watch is the Caribbean GMT, which has blue and orange accents. And I think I've mentioned in the past, I periodically write Doxa like a nut, asking them to release a GMT in titanium, because for me that would be the end-all be-all Doxa watch to own, and I would sell. I only have two right now: the GMT Caribbean and this one that just got in. This one's in titanium. It's a rare bird. Just don't remember if it's 200 or 300. And negotiated. Actually, no, wait a minute. This wasn't a negotiation. I was trying to negotiate a seller down on her watch, and she just didn't understand the market, because the price I was offering her was $200 more than what this one finished at an open auction, and hers had a scratch. I'm sorry, madam. Know your market. Doesn't matter what stuff's listed for. Matters what it's selling for. I am surprised at how thick this one is. It is a 600 meter. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's got yet another unusual kind of design, which is typical for Doxa. They're odd birds. They're odd looking. I rather like this. I think that, well, I know they have one of these in steel, and that one I think you can get for. I saw one listed for $1,200, which is like a good-looking price. I haven't priced them out in the market, but it occurred to me that was a good price on a premium dive watch, albeit not the flagship design from Doxa, but really cool-looking watch, and I think it was a little bit thinner. But with the titanium being lightweight, it's more or less offset by it all. And I think what what I'm gonna do when I get home? I'm gonna go look at some other straps. Maybe pick up a typical Doxa orange strap to go with this, because it does have the typical Doxa orange hand, and then it's got this very bright blue, which just makes me want to go to the beach. Yeah, she's got some back to her, doesn't she? But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go try and get an orange strap to go on this, although I bet this titanium clasp is expensive add-on. Should be able to get the strap itself. I don't know, probably for an isofrane or lower. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Don't necessarily need it for its intended use. No, there's no helium escape valve on this. Looks smaller and wears a little bit smaller than I was expecting, because that typical Doxa head takes out, it's got a very large, I was gonna say footprint, but wrist print? How much space it takes up? I'll be excited to put this next to my GMT. Maybe, you know what, maybe we'll do a double trouble with it. In fact, yeah, let's do that. Let's get these side by side and check them out. You know, if you're gonna have the blues, I could think of far worse scenarios than these two from Doxa. The Doxa brand has been around for forever and a day. I consider Doxa to be the diver's dive watch. Like if I was an actual diver and had to go diving, I would have a Doxa. And these two are both in blue, a pair of gems, pair of Doxa gems, and I love them. I think, speaking generally for the casual collector, one Doxa watch is probably sufficient for your collection. Now there are obviously Doxa fanatics out there who have a bunch. Other than the color dial variants, there's not a lot of difference between most of the mainstream Doxa models. But here we have this edition, which is slightly different than the standard Doxa case, and it's in titanium. We'll get hands-on with these in a moment. If you're a follower of the channel, then you know I do bemoan the sale of my previous Doxa titanium, the Mission 31. And when I had a chance to pick up this model, I jumped on it. And it's a little bit different compared to the other one. It wears a little better on me, speaking generally. And I think there's room enough for both of these in here. We'll get side by side on them in a second, but super quick, this comes on, they only made 200 of these, and all Doxa titanium watches typically sell out and go up in value over time. But a really neat bit of kit, plus this placard board that it's held to holds the registration cards and everything. And I don't know, quite lovely. This one here, Channel Darling, the GMT Caribbean Blue. Love this watch. If I can only have one watch from Doxa, it would be this one, the GMT. Because if you're diving, chances are you're traveling and you're going to be in a second time zone. I just wish they would release this in titanium. Here we are, up in your business style, Doxa, checking you out. So the one on the left, the titanium, still quite a bit thick, but it is 600 meters. No date, just the time, three-hander, and that lovely bezel style of theirs. Titanium classed, silicone. My only complaint with this model is I would have done drilled lug holes. This is stiff rubber. My experience with stiff rubber, just like stiff leather, the spring bar can get wiggled out of there. So that's my only concern here. I think if they'd done this with drilled lugs, they have the space for it, then you could use those special spring bars to make sure it doesn't get jimmied out of there. Great watch though. These can be had right now still under list. I won this on an auction. There are a couple out there that are at great prices. You can still scoop one up. This is definitely going to go up in value. They only made 200 in this gorgeous color. This one here, they only made 1,000 GMTs, 250 in this color. So these are both rare birds. If we look at the thickness on that, let's, I'm gonna pop up some measurements on each so we can get a sense of what we're looking at. This is of course on bracelets, gonna wear a bit heavier. I am chasing down an isoframe strap for it. I'm actually in a live auction for it right now. We'll see how that turns out. I wanted to get this strap from Doxa, but they want like 310 bucks, and I'm sorry, that's just way too much. Sorry, Doxa, too much. So I'm gonna go isoframe. So as we look at these two, this one wears quite large on wrist. I'll show you that. I still love it though. She's heavy. If she was in titanium, the titanium Mission 31 wore so lightweight. It was still large, but lightweight. Let's put these on wrist and have a little comparison here. This one on wrist, 6.5 inches diameter. She wears a little bit big. The lug to lug is thankfully short, so I can still pull it off. It is a dive watch. It's purpose built. There's the long lead angle. It doesn't stick up too high. Not going to fit under a dress cuff. Certainly not as svelte as some of my Omega Seamasters, but still a great piece. Let's have us look at the other one on wrist. And you can see why I like this piece. It wears a little bit better. The silicone rubber, a little bit stiff. I could probably tighten this up a little bit. I generally wear my watches loose, but with a strap like this, you'd probably want to have it a little bit tighter. And she looks great. She is a little bit thick, looking at the long lead, but still pretty gorgeous. Let's see if we can get these both on the wrist at the same time, get a little side by side. All right, side by side Castro style. I don't know, they wear, oh, that lug to lug is nearly the same. How funny is that? That does improve. It makes this feel smaller and this one as well, but why does this one feel so much bigger? It's probably because of these flanges coming out. But these watches are amazing. Both of them rare birds, both of them sure to improve. Not that that's an absolute requirement, but it's always nice to have that. If you're interested in Doxa, there's a pair of really great books from the doc. I'll insert a snapshot of those books. Absolutely worth having. His latest book that contains this model in it hasn't arrived yet. I've got it on order. I might do an insert with that. We'll see. Yeah, I should do a book review on that. Drop that one in. But these watches are amazing in that gorgeous blue. Makes me want to get to the beach. Quick book review on the Doxa Sub Ice Era from the good doc, Dr. Peter McLean Millar, who's just a fabulous gentleman. I've corresponded with him over the years, never met in person or talked other than email, but a really great guy who helped me find one of his older books, the Doxa Sub 40 year, and then bought the 50, and bought this. This is a smaller book, but I'm a bit of a completist, and I like it in book form. You can actually get this as a free PDF download if you want one, but I myself wanted it in the actual book form. So looking through this, we'll take this little baby out of the way. Some excellent photos of these variants. Here's our little baby. Oh, Mission 31. Miss it. The 600T Pacific. Oh, those are interesting. Oh yeah, the Aubrey era 600. This is a good reference photo for that because G Money's looking for one of those. I think I saw one the other day for like 2 G's, come to think of it. A nice little addition to the compendium of watch books. Wow. Could you imagine how much this is in solid gold? That would be amazing. Wonder what that would go for on the open market. But it's got some other pieces in here too. And I like watch books. Clearly I like watch books. And this one was pretty inexpensive. I can't even remember how much it was. But I like to support the good doc, the work he's doing. And it's a nice little addition to my Doxa collection. There you have it, some Doxa blues. I got the blues. You know who else has the blues? That other seller. All right, buying strategy, negotiating strategy. Her price was 30% over what this one finished at. And I was offering her 10% over what this ultimately finished at, just making a run at it. And she came back with the attitude and perspective of, oh, these are listing for such and such all over the internet. And I was polite. I'm always going to be polite. I'm like, miss, it doesn't matter what they're listing for. What are they selling for? So, strategy. If I had not won this one in the open auction, I could have taken the auction result and then gone back to her and perhaps reasoned with her, especially since hers was damaged, right? If for no other reason than that. But I would not have been a salty dog about it. I would have gone back to her, and this works for anything, any watch. Dear so-and-so, I've noticed that this model is fetching this price in open auction environment. And then if there's something wrong with theirs, point it out, being polite. I also noticed your watch has this defect. I don't mind such a thing, so long as it's priced accordingly. Would you now consider an offer of XYZ for the watch? And if you accept it, I'd be happy to pay you right away. That's about the most reasonable approach you can come at a seller with. And if it's someone who just has something up for sale, they could maintain their unrealistic position of asking the moon for it or trying to get out of it without taking a loss, which is an option. And on some watches you can do that. But if they're an experienced seller, like if it was me, right? I've sold enough. I'm not a dealer. But if I was listing something and I was met with a negotiation tactic of someone pointing out a recent sale, that recent sale doesn't matter. Because my position is going to be, I need to get X amount out of it. Now, if I'm being unreasonable with that expectation, then, I might as well buy some birthday candles and put them on a cake once a year for the watch I'm trying to sell. But if I'm looking to move product, looking to move some weight in the open market, and that's my job, right? If that's my livelihood, you don't need to hold out for max value. If you want to sell it then and there, and if you've got some profit in there yet, make a sale, close the deal. But that wasn't the case for this person. This person was not an experienced watch seller. God knows how they came into contact with one of these, because this is a pretty obscure watch. And you know what? It's fine. Keep your watch, madam, and enjoy the scratch that's on it, because no one's paying your price. In fact, maybe I'll send you some birthday candles. That last part was a little bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm happy. I got the watch for less than I was going to pay for it. I should write her, though. Should I write her? I need to. If I write her, I don't want to be doing it because I don't want to be mean to her. I want to be like, hey, if you want to make a sale on this, now you know what? There's no point. I'm not going to buy the watch from her. I don't need to write her. Miss, if you're watching this and you need some sales advice, by all means, hit me up.